As our population continues to grow, the ocean will be an important source of food. Seafood from responsible wild and farm sources can increase our supply of nutritious food while reducing our impact on land and freshwater resources. Marine aquaculture, or farming in the sea, is a promising opportunity to increase seafood supply while supporting healthy ocean ecosystems and communities. A movement is underway to complement our well-managed wild capture fisheries with responsible marine aquaculture to ensure that we have safe and nutritious seafood for generations to come. In this episode, we're at Blue Ocean Mariculture in Hawaii, where we caught up with farmer Tyler Corti and NOAA scientist James Morris. This farm raises a tropical yellowtail fish called kenpachi. It's the only offshore fish farm in the United States. Tyler and James are joined by Chef Colin Hazama to talk about farming fish in the ocean and why it can be good for ocean ecosystems and for people.
The part of the culture through many centuries was having fish ponds in Hawaii and making it a sustainable source. A term in Hawaiian is called ahupua'a, which is from the mountain to sea, of raising it to bring it to its certain source through where we can harvest it. And can you tell me a little bit more about that?
You know, Hawaii has a rich culture in aquaculture. The Hawaiian fish ponds represent some of the oldest traditional aquaculture approaches, in the world. And this place really abounds with the culture of aquaculture. We have to think about the whole ecosystem, similar to how the Hawaiian fish ponds utilized from the mountain to the sea, in terms of thinking about sustainability and sustainable approaches. We're very excited because we know that we do have the science and technology today to do sustainable aquaculture. Here in Kona, Hawaii is a great example of sustainability in terms of being able to understand how the farm is functioning in the environment.
Well, Tyler, how did you and the company decide to choose a location and raising the fish?
In aquaculture, site selection is a big deal because you've got a number of things that come into it. And the first thing you want to think about is the environment and the fish. So we know we were looking for a deep water site. We know we were looking for a site that had plenty of current and movement of water because fish need oxygen. And the more turnover of the water we have, the harder it is to work in, but the healthier it is for the fish. So we're picking a site based on that. Hawaii brought a lot of those things, right temperature for growing this type of species, good turnover, great water that's not, we don't have a lot of upwelling here on the island because we're a rock in the middle of the Pacific, so we don't have a lot of competition with algal blooms for oxygen, so the fish are in the same consistent environment year round. And the depth of the site is also really important because fish eat and they do create waste. So you want to make sure you can model how much biomass or how many fish we can actually raise in a certain area, creating little to no impact around. And we monitor that every single month.
So you use kenpachi in your restaurant?
Yes, I do. I actually prepare it in many different ways. I mean, most people try to eat it and prepare it, sashimi or poke or raw or cured, but it's also really, really good to have it cooked, smoked, poached. I mean, it's so versatile.
The fish, we picked it for a number of reasons, and it's one, a local fish that can be used in so many different ways, and two, is a great fish for sustainability.
Well, I'm glad you guys did because, man, that is phenomenal. It's just got that nice marbling, nice firm texture and its freshness, and it's so good for us as chefs to be able to produce and work with this kind of product because it's so consistent. Actually, a lot of customers, I guess, ask me, where's this wild fish caught from? And I have to explain to them that it's a sustainable source, that it's farmers, because it's so good.
The ocean will play a critical role in the production of food to ensure that we can accommodate the growing population without compromising the health of the planet. The U.S. has the scientific knowledge and technology to grow marine aquaculture responsibly. Creating the right balances of food sources today will ensure there are healthy ecosystems and resources for many generations to come. Visit seafoodforthefuture.org for recipes and to learn more about marine aquaculture and the people who are innovating its future.